This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Vince is saying here, hey, last week you heard we saw the first member of the Kiss My Ass Club. I like people kissing my ass. It feels good. Let's listen.
And tonight, a second individual will join the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club right here tonight. Oh my God, Sarah, we're gonna get to see it again. Sometimes we're gonna do it twice. And before I reveal that individual's name, allow me to introduce to you an Olympic champion. Oh yeah. An Olympic hero. An American hero. A WWF hero. A man who has never kissed my ass. The first ever, soon to be undisputed WWF champion, Kurt Angle.
Vince is a good heel, man.
Such a great heel. And as a reminder, we're headed towards the December show, the December pay-per-view, which is where we're going to run a little bit of a tournament. And we know Chris Jericho is going to become the man. But a lot of people probably thought, well, they're probably going to go with Kurt here just based on the incredible year and run he had had. Also, as a reminder, the prior week, we had seen the first member of the Kiss My Ass Club just one day after the end of the Alliance at Survivor Series. That was Mr. William Regal. And now here in Oklahoma City, well, we know Vince has other plans.
Yes, he does.
You wrote about this a lot in your book, and we're going to spend a fair amount of time talking about this, but this, well, it's interesting, creative, to say the least.
Yeah, it was. Well, you know, I didn't like it, which we'll discuss, but I never saw the need in a Kiss My Ass Club to start with anybody involved. You know, we didn't get a t-shirt, just nothing here. So I am a member of the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club. We didn't get a t-shirt or nothing. So, but you know, I knew something would be coming up because he's got an audience in Oklahoma City, in my home state, you know, 20 miles from where I lived, right there at, and the audience is going to be very pro JR. I mean, it's inevitable. But also when you go to your hometown, Vince likes to use that as a backdrop for the heat. It's a who on the roster can we get more heat with by this. So you know, it was it's what it was what it was. You know, I did my thing. When Saban calls a play, you goddamn sure better run it.
Yeah. And
that's what I did. I ran the play.
Well, I think the gist is they're going to talk about how someone else is going to be joining the Kiss My Ass Club tonight, but they don't just jump right to you. I think it's insinuated, at least to start, that it's going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin, which obviously feels like we're hearkening back a few years to when the business was on absolute fire in 1998, when Stone Cold was the man of the people and he was railing against his boss, the evil Mr. McMahon.
Yep.
That is when the company really reached new heights. So I understand, hey, let's go back to what we know and let's make Stone Cold the sort of anti-hero hero. And let's make Vince this awful boss and evil figure. And man, getting Stone Cold's best friend and old pal and that everybody knows involved in creative like this, I could see it. But boy,
my friendship with Steve cost me a time or two.
Yes.
Including on this night in Oklahoma City. The nice thing too about this, I look up there and hell of a crowd. Great crowd. We had a real good house that night and it was kind of cool because there was some skepticism about, well, can we sell enough tickets in Oklahoma City to make it look good on TV? Because all any arena is, wherever you go, is a television studio. That's what it is. And so that's what this is. This is a major television studio, and they turned out well. I was really happy for that.
Let's hear what Vince is saying here.
Giving footage we'd like to share with the many of you who did not see this. Let's roll the footage. This little incident that occurred on Thanksgiving. Here, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, go ahead. Thinks he's having his way with William Regal. Oh, but look, who comes to save the day? Look at this. That son of a bitch attacked me. I couldn't believe it myself, JR. Oh, yeah, well, then what happened to old Stone Cold just a little bit later on, huh?
Regal's priceless. Just priceless. What a great villain.
One of the all-time greats, not just in the ring, but the persona, the mic work, just the character work, just outstanding.
And the fact that Austin, his assailants are all recognizable stars, especially the Dudleys.
Which brings up certainly one point I want to make, and that is, you see, there's a moral to that story. That is that Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't want any more of Mr. McMahon. Oh, that's the moral. You see, Austin learned his lesson before, and he damn sure doesn't want to have to go through McMahon Austin too. Ooh. That's just a little sample of what would happen if Stone Cold continues to cross yours truly and Kurt Angle.
Don't cross the boss, famous words.
So therefore, I don't think it's too much to ask if tonight Mr. McMahon takes his jacket off, drops his trousers.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Pulls my underwear down so all you can see my magnificent keister. It's not too much to ask for Stone Cold to come out and kiss my ass.
What? I don't think that's gonna happen.
And if he knows what's good for him, that's exactly what will happen right here tonight, here in Oklahoma City. I thank you very much.
You mean that's what Stone Cold the second member is kiss my ass?
So that's the gist. Stone Cold is going to kiss my ass right here tonight. But you wrote about this a lot in your book, and we need to, or I want to mention, when I read the book the very first time, I told you I think it's one of the best 3 books ever written about wrestling. I loved Bret Hart's book. I love Mick Foley's book. And I think your second book, Under the Black Hat, where you talk about a lot of this, it might be, yeah, it is. It's a top 3 all-timer. And a lot of it is because of your candidness of being willing to just share your real emotions and experiences while working for Vince, because Vince, as everyone knows listening to this, is a fascinating individual.
Yeah.
And the idea of you get another peek into the brain of how he works and how he thinks. I don't think any book has really expressed that as well as Under the Black Hat did.
Well, thanks. Well, I worked hip to hip for a long, long time through some tough times and some great times.
As we get closer to the segment that we're really here for, we're going to see Stone Cold come out for the Kiss My Ass Club segment, and we're going to track it, but you'll notice he doesn't get maybe the reaction you expect. But I want to remind everybody, the last time they were in Oklahoma, we were trying to turn Steve Austin heel. And how do you make sure that he gets booed in Oklahoma? You have him beat the hell out of their own. He beat the hell out of you here in Oklahoma. So now when he comes out for this segment, maybe fans still remember that, and they're not going as wild for Stone Cold as they might have without that attack.
Could be, fans are loyal. No doubt about that. I was bloodied up on that night too. So it was kind of dramatic and memorable in that respect. That's when he decided to use a scaffold on my head instead of a blade. I wasn't aware of that until we got in the ring, by the way. I guess it wouldn't have made any difference. I'd have done it anyway. I know one thing, my little late wife was very unhappy with me over that scenario. She didn't realize I was going to bleed as much as I did, and quite frankly, neither did I. Regal's facial expressions, if you look at this young wrestlers, every step means something.
Yep.
His body English means something. His facial expressions mean everything. He just looks at people with total disdain.
This is after the third time we've seen the urine spot. The third time.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty crazy that this is where we are the third time. But William Regal is out now. I want to mention you wrote in your book, which is available now, by the way, jrsbbq.com is where you can get Under the Black Hat. And boy,
get it signed, Connie.
That is the perfect Christmas present for the wrestling fan in your life, an autographed copy of that book. You wrote in that book, my wife, daughters, family, and friends gathered ringside to see their husband, father, and friend get on his knees and canoodle the shaved, tanned, tensed buns of his boss for quote unquote entertainment. You also wrote in your book that Vince liked to do ass tricks. Now, of course, I know he mentioned that on the microphone, but around the office sometimes, maybe after a bottle of red wine.
I don't know about that. I never saw Vince drink red wine in the office. It was all work. But he was proud of his physique, and he's proud of how he worked out. So sometimes he'd flex. Let's say he liked flexing.
Okay.
All those bodybuilders like flexing. So now Regal's trying to get a match out of the Big Show, who's still earning his stripes, still developing. Less is more for a guy like Big Show. He should not even be wrestling every week. I totally disagree with putting an attraction style wrestler like Big Show or Andre or some of those guys that were special size wise and having them overexposing them on television every week. You can do vignettes, you can talk about them, all that stuff, but I don't want to see them every week. I want to keep them special because his repertoire is what it is. And I don't mean in a negative way regarding Paul White. And lo and behold,
those damn brass knuckles.
Yeah, man, look at this. Boom. Great bump by the Big Show. He sold it like a true pro. And then Regal gets rid of the evidence. He can't be convicted because there's no weapon in sight. But he's knocked Big Show out. And boy, there's chaotic scene here in Oklahoma City. But Regal beats the Big Show. And now look how happy he is. Like he beat him with a wrist lock. He's limping, he's selling, he's got that stance, that demeanor. There's how you look as a heel. He just had great psychology.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.